Kirby in the Forgotten Land has Kirby blasting onto the 3D landscape for the first time ever.
It's weird to think about, but they've kept it 2D for the mainline games, and it's not for lack of trying.
They've been trying to get 3D Kirby games out since the Nintendo 64, but it just never materialized until now.
The story is very Kirby-esque, where daily life on planet Popstar is thrown into peril and Kirby is thrown into a new world. It's a destitute wasteland of a forgotten place, minus the destitute part. They went for an apocalyptic theme, but instead of relying on the regular cues and brown and gray color shading, you have actual colors here. Tons of greenery, and an overall pleasing look to the environment. Going with this art style was definitely the correct choice, and it fits the Kirby universe like a glove.
Kirby has to battle these cute enemies on his journey, along with some familiar ones that'll make fans of the series smile. You might feel bad attacking these cute little guys, but they're out to get you, so you have to stay on guard.
The main purpose of the game, at least at the get-go, is to help save the Waddle Dees, who are traditional frenemies, but here they've gone full ally, with their own town acting as a hub world-esque place where you go when you're not exploring each level. You'll find all sorts of things here like items, fishing games, power upgrades, the Coliseum, and more.
Kirby himself controls very well, and he feels made for 3D. The movement feels so smooth, the copy ability seems so natural and intuitive, and there's even some extra techniques, like dodging, added to the game. This mechanic is really useful for boss fights especially.
The big thing with Kirby is the power-ups. He's always sucking things up from small enemies to huge cars now. The mouthful mode items are a lot of fun, and they do add that extra bit of variety and puzzle challenge to the game. Riding around with the car or shooting baddies with soda cans is hilarious and provides a good break in gameplay that keeps the fun intact.
The power-ups themselves are standard Kirby, but they feature an upgrade system this time around. You can beef up the 12 copy abilities, adding new tiers and bringing the total amount of upgrades to 35. It's pretty substantial. Besides their specific end-level use, you can really pick and choose which one suits you the best and just let rip. The levels themselves are a lot of fun, but the design takes a Mario 3D World approach, as opposed to the one in Zelda Breath of the Wild, which most people assumed it would have. However, this works for the game, seeing as it's Kirby's first foray into 3D. Going in like this was the correct choice because it definitely leaves you wanting more, and it shows you a glimpse of the potential Kirby has in this type of game.
You'll be exploring abandoned towns, shopping malls, deserts, ice worlds, water worlds, all the tropes are here, but they're done in a way that again makes you wish that there were more levels. There is a post-game, but it would have been great to have at least 2 more levels here, because they're just so much fun.
The level progression in the game can soon become fairly repetitive. This isn't to say the design's not great, but oftentimes you'll finish a level, complete 1 to 2 treasure road challenges, go back to Waddle Dee Town for power-ups, and repeat the process all over again. Because you're looking for Waddle Dees all over the world, you'll be replaying some levels if you want to get that 100%. A slight issue is how some can be really hard to find, but you can almost stumble onto the really hard ones without trying in other cases, making the game feel a bit easier than it should be.
Kirby games aren't known to be very hard, quite the opposite in fact. The games may seem like they're made with a younger audience in mind, and are definitely easy in the beginning, but once you progress more and more, you'll feel the game get harder than expected. A more gradual rise in difficulty would have been appreciated, which is where an extra level or 2 would have come in handy.
The game is littered with boss fights, which can be a bit repetitive since you'll be battling some of the same bosses a few times. You'll be fighting sub and main bosses here, with the main bosses even having an upgraded mode.
The post-game we mentioned is a bit challenging too, especially once you get to the end. And of course there's the Coliseum, which is extremely challenging, and will take the utmost effort to clear. Seriously, the final boss is no joke.
One thing Kirby is well regarded for is the music, with a lot of classic tunes packed in, but here they've taken it to the next level.
When you think of the apocalypse, you definitely don't think of this kind of music, but they definitely struck gold here. The typical whimsical Kirby style is supplemented by moments of calm, or just straight epicness that get you excited to be fighting off hordes of enemies as a pink super warrior.
It's not just the epic tracks, but also the calm and cool beats as well. The way the songs stick out from each other is a testament to how good they all are. For the first 3D Kirby outing, they definitely hit the ball out of the park.
It features everything you might expect from a Kirby game. The copy abilities, a world beater end boss that threatens reality, a spectacular soundtrack, and fun. It's not the perfect 3D game, but for a first try, they did a great job. It'll leave you wanting more, and shows there's so much room for expansion in future sequels.
They could very well add more levels or even go in the Breath of the Wild direction. The possibilities are limitless.
Not every series transitions into 3D perfectly, but it's safe to say that Kirby was made for the third dimension. And let's hope he stays here too.